Excuse me. Come on. Oh, why do I always have this problem? Hello. Oh, here we go. Yay. Figure out my tablet in no time. Excuse me. Bronchial issues are a thing right now. Um, I'm gonna wait until a few more people come on. I'm hoping for certain people come on because I wanted to talk to them about my MRI. Um, it's not all bad, but it's not all good either. So yeah, um, it had me a little depressed yesterday because of what it sounded like the results were saying, and then when I got somebody who I trust look at my results, basically not the films, but just the overall written results. And yeah, I'm not exactly happy. Basically, the same lower back. So I have degenerative disc issues, degenerative bone issues, bulging discs, and a buttload of arthritis. So I'm like, oh yay, you know. But I've been literally living with this back pain for well, since before I came here from New York. So it originally started in New York, and they did do they didn't do an MRI. They did an X-ray, and they had a picture. And the technician was like, "Did you see this little bump right there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Your discs are bulging." And I went, "Okay, so what can we do about this?" Now, the doctor in New York made it sound like it was 10 times worse than it probably was. He was like, you can either do PT and hope that fixes the problem, but highly unlikely, or you can go under the knife. And I just went, yeah, what do you mean under the knife? He goes, well, we'll have to do a surgical operation. And I was like, okay, what's the downside? What's the upside? He goes, well, the upside is you won't have to deal with the pain anymore. The downside of it is if we do it wrong, we can, basically you can get paralyzed from the waist down. And that's why they wanted me to sign paperwork about like not only do I agree to the operation, but to basically agree not to sue the hospital or the doctor's office for the mishap. And I'm like, nah, I'll live with the pain, thanks. Granted, at the time, it was only every so often. And then annoying. Never do these videos without Wi-Fi. Um, of course, there we go. Everything's catching up on my tablet, so that was weird. But I mean, that's basically the major what's going on here. Hi, D. I don't know if you're just joining me or what, but I'll go over what happened. I'm hoping to see Nelly on here. Maybe a few other people. Excuse me. But I'm talking about my MRI from the other day, which one it was yesterday was just a bit of a miserable, chaotic type day. Hold on a second. Oh, goody, they're right here. There's going to be a momentary lag of sound. Come on. All right, hopefully that's better because I got my mic on, so hopefully this will be better. Hi, Kickin. Um, like I said, my I got the basic lab results Monday afternoon, Monday evening, somewhere around there, and thank you. Um, I read the results, and I had to send the results to a friend of ours who is actually I don't know if she's just a regular RN or if she's like one of the higher ups. But I know she still works in the medical profession, and she looked at it and basically said something about the degenerative disc or vertebrae, and then she was joking around by going, "Oh man, you must have a lot of arthritis." And I didn't realize I had arthritis because my pains come and go. I mean, it depends a lot on the weather, the temperature of the house, a lot of different things. Sorry about that noise. But I was like, what? And I had to reread the information from my Mercy, and I just kind of went, oh, okay, so that's what that's talking about. That my lower, like my lower spine, because they were talking about degenerative issues where the root of, I guess, where the nerve ending comes out, where the root is. So I was just kind of like, I'm waiting for the doctor to give their, final translation or diagnosis. I'm hoping if this is something like I had it up in my back, my upper back, my shoulders area, it's just going to be a simple. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. Hey, Rebecca. So I'm just waiting for like the final results from the main doctor. Of course, I may be switching primaries because as of late, I don't think my primary is doing, a good enough job for me. That's just me. I know my Jerry Ann's primary is like really excellent at her job and really gets down in there with you, while my primary is more of a, ask a bunch of questions and give very few answers. Hey, Tina. So I'm just kind of like, I'm in the middle going, okay, I've got the neurosurgeon who was the one that said, get an MRI for your lower back, as well as the one who set me up with pain management for the, I called it an operation. I guess it's more like a procedure because you're just in. I wasn't even in there a full 45 minutes at the most. So it was like one of those in and out situations, and they made sure that I was stable enough to walk. So that's the one thing I do like about my Mercy is they'll give you preliminary results really quickly. Like as soon as the computer spits out the information, you get the preliminaries. Um, well, that was my the neurosurgeon. That wasn't even my primary. Which I'm like, why do I have to go to see this person for that and that person for this and they did it? And it's just the way America is right now, or has become. But hey, you know what? As long as I'm getting my results, I have an idea of what's going on, and I'm just waiting for one of my many doctors to call back and say, hey, like, we got your results, and we see how bad things are for your back. Hey, Marguerite, that kind of thing. So I'm just waiting for a call or a message or, hey, let's set you up for another injection for your lower back, type thing. So that's why I'm like, it's one of the reasons why yesterday, because I didn't know exactly what was going on when I saw the results myself, I was just kind of like confused and whatnot. And at the time, at the time when I first got him, Mom was napping, so I couldn't go in. Hey, go wake her up and go, hey, can you translate this medical not garbage, gobbledygook. You know, it's Latin to me, which is kind of funny because most medical terms are Latin of one form or not. Yeah, Latin. The Hippocratic Oath that you have to take to be a doctor is something that started back in Greece by Hippocrates himself. He was like the first actual medical person to create the Hippocratic Oath, which is basically, doctors are not supposed to be, cause harm. They're supposed to be the ones helping. But like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, it's one of the reasons why I didn't do my lower back when I was in New York, because they were talking about having this paperwork so they are not liable for any mistakes that happen while I'm doing the procedure for my lower back. I didn't like that idea. And I did ask back then, what's the reason for the extra piece of paper? We want to sign. We want you to sign it so you can't sue us if we mess up your back. Yeah, I don't think so. But that was way back then, and things have changed, and I don't know how worse it's gotten. Sorry, Jerry sent me a message. It's always amazing how somebody will disturb me while I'm doing my logs, and it's somewhat annoying, but it happens. Sometimes people don't know what's going on or what you're doing, so they're like, hey, I need you. Well, you should have said something quite some time ago. Hello, country Tina. Okay. Sorry, I had to really look at your name there. But anyhow, with my information available to me and Jerry Ann, because she sees a lot of my, I should say, most of my medical stuff to her. I am my mom's medical proxy, so I have to be able to get into her portal to see what's going on in case I have to go, Ma, And you got to get this test done, or you got to do, you got to go find yourself a new doctor or something. So, yeah. But it's been, well, the last 24 hours has been a bit of a, I guess you'd call it a roller coaster because of just the emotions of trying to figure what's going on. My mom watches you and your wife all the time. She loves you guys. Who's your mom, country? Um, but I appreciate that as well. Um, but um, anybody have an idea what's going on with Nellie? I have not seen her in quite some time. Um, Ann had told me that she got an email that she was not doing so good. So I was just wondering if anybody else had heard anything. Um, oh yeah. Ever since yesterday, and finding out that arthritis is a problem for me, I mean it's like between last night and this morning, it's like everything that can hurt does hurt, or has like I know I brained my hand yesterday and it's still hurting. My knees, which have been bad for a long time anyhow, and I'm just like, oh great, it would be one of those things to find out that I have some sort of um, acute arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis or one of those, and I'm like, I've heard enough between my family members who had it that it's not fun. You end up spending half your day either massaging your joints or smelling like some sort of ointment or cream for pain, like Bengay or I forgot what the old creams were. Nowadays, it's like lidocaine or one of those other industrial strength, pain relievers. I'm like, yeah. I actually was joking around with somebody a while back about getting old. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, if all the things I've done to my body to damage it in one way, shape, or form, or cause you know, long-lasting possible effects or effects that pop up when you don't expect them. I was like, if that happens, I just find a way to create a lidocaine bath, and I'll just soak in it for a day or two. But sorry, um, so it's one of those things where okay, I didn't know if anybody might have. Um, I think she was on Jerry's chat Sunday. I don't remember if she was. So many things going on that it's like I question my own memory because like, was that person here or was that person not? You know. But yeah, we'll probably text her or something like that later. But the the whole MRI thing and finding out the results and whatnot, and then my body starting to hurt was like an eye opener for me. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not that young anymore. I can't push myself as hard as I used to. Um, but I want to push. My thing right now is I want to push as hard as I can to get us to Colorado, and then once we get to Colorado, I'll start to relax. Um, I'll get my stuff unpacked and put away and dealt with, and then truly relax. Um, yes, unfortunately, my my youth is catching up to what what I used to do, and now my body's like payback. I'm like, oh man, really? Um, Actually, House Joan, I am glad that I did not accidentally delete you the other day. Um, it was just there were so many people. I don't want to say bickering among themselves, but I couldn't tell who was saying what to who. So I apologize for whatever I might have done Sunday, but thankfully you're not in the limbo of YouTube. Tiger Bomb was supposed to be a really good one for athletes. Um, I would love to be able to go up to Ohio within the next year or so. Next year would be great because if we got the camper and we're in Colorado and we decide to take a trip out to Ohio, I'd like to go to Amish country because they have a lot of natural pain salves and whatnot. Um, that in fact I found one the other day and I wrote it down in my I wrote it down in one of my books. So it's like, yeah, uh, that's all right, kicking. We all have our things to deal with. No, it's not easy getting, especially when you would think I was not a very active kid because I'm not a very active adult, but I had hyperactivity as well as attention deficit disorder as a kid. So I've done enough banging myself around and falling out of trees and having my having my forehead smacked hard enough to create a second nose. Um, you know, my parents used to tell me how I would climb out of my crib and hit a mahogany hardwood floor in the Philippines when my dad was stationed there, which is where I was born, and just kind of look up like nobody's here to, I'd either just whimper or kind of go, and then keep on going. As my father used to call me, he used to call me the Timex kid, take a lick and keep on ticking. That was me pretty much, as a kid. Now I've slowed down. I'm not as hyper, but I still have that attention deficit disorder. There are times where I go down a rabbit hole and I can't get myself out, or I go down the rabbit hole and go, wait a minute, nah, this is not where I was going. That's me. Hello. I'm just going to call you House because I cannot pronounce that first name for some reason, but that's just me. Let's see here. I was talking to my neighbor earlier. Okay. Um, but, I'm now 52 years old and I'm like, okay, this sucks that I hurt. That just tells me I need to just slow it up a little bit and not try to, exert myself or go bonkers. Unless I get, this nice long burst of energy, as long as I don't do anything to hurt myself, I should be fine and dandy. So it's one of those things where it's like, I know I'm getting old and I know it hurt and I know there's a lot of little things that I just, can't do as quickly or as fast as I used to, or like I'll do a full run of dishes for the dishwasher, and once I get done with that, it's like okay, I gotta sit down for a few minutes, to catch my breath and rejuvenate my energy and things like that, and you know, and I sit there and sometimes I think, my God, now I know how Jerry feels, but not as badly because Jerry at a point in time during this cancer when it was really bad. Um, she would try to do stuff, but then run out of energy very quickly, or she would do a full day of running around because, she might have an appointment in Springfield. We can run out there, do her appointment, come back home, and by the time we get her in and out of the car 4 times, she's zapped. And, she's done for the day, and then needs like a day or two to recuperate. So it's like I understand how she feels. Um, no, it's not that old, but boy, does it. I mean, like I said, I tore myself up as a kid. I mean, you couldn't get me to sit down for more than, a few minutes. I would, could not sit down unless I was tired, and usually if I was tired, I was out cold. Um, but I had energy back then to just, I mean, I could run for days and not feel exhausted. Nowadays, dog, nowadays it's like I do 1 or 2 rooms worth of cleaning and I'm just done for the day type deal. No, we have not moved yet, Kathy. We have decided that we want to finish up doing a couple projects to make the house a little bit more presentable because we had 2 different rooms that just looked like pure clutter. This room was not as bad as the other rooms, but it needed a good sprucing up, and I tried to do the best I could, which with me having one issue or another, and not knowing what's causing the issues or whatnot. I do my best and try not to exert myself or hurt myself or anything like that. Um, Kicking, that's a joke. That's got to be a joke. Because I don't know of anybody who would vote for him after all the shit he's done. Besides that, he's under federal indictment. So if you're under federal indictment, you can't run for president because you're going through a federal court case. Um, yeah. Unfortunately, between genetics and just all the things I've done to myself over the years, it's caught up to me. Um, because both sides of the family has like high high cholesterol levels, heart problems of one form or another, diabetes. You know, like I said, that most of my dad's side of the family were like blood related diseases. Heart attack, high blood pressure, diabetes. My mom's side of the family was diabetes and I think heart condition was another one, but I don't remember. Um, oh, I didn't hear her barking, and well, I heard her barking, but I don't know what it was, Jerry. And you can now say hello to everybody because Marguerite's on and Kicken's on. Fortunately, Nellie's not on. And I have not seen Sheila in a long time, so I know there was an issue. Sheila was having issues with my non-Christian aspects of my life, and JD. It's all right, honey. The apologizing is nice. Yeah, Oreo got set off. She was, according to Jerry, she was asleep, and all of a sudden Oreo woke up barking. Oreo has actually been a really good dog lately. I guess she senses my illness, and she's bouncing back and forth between me and Jerry to make sure that we're okay. Especially yesterday. Today I took her out when I went out to go do a grocery pickup. So I took her out. She was a good girl. The young kid who came to the car to put the groceries in the car, I had him put them in the trunk, and Oreo just kind of like, at first she barked, and then she was like, okay, no danger. And then it was more like trying to stretch her neck out as far as possible to sniff at him, which I thought was kind of cute because she wasn't growling or trying to bite or anything. Like, she was just sniffing like crazy. And the kid was good about it. He didn't seem to mind or anything like that. Which, I mean, I don't know how many times these people, the people who bring the groceries to your car, had to deal with dogs in one form or another. Some of them wimpy dogs, some of them, just calm, cool dogs, and then Oreo, who barks once or twice and then sniffs around like, oh, you don't seem that bad. But Oreo is one of these kind of dogs where it's like she'll sniff at you, and if you move, she kind of jerks back real quick, or just kind of jerks back like, eh, eh. But she's a real good dog, and I am wholeheartedly hoping when we get settled in Colorado and we start doing camping trips or traveling around the country to visit people, that because she'll be coming with us, that Oreo will get used to it and won't be so anxious or nervous around new people. I just can't wait. I really can't wait to start getting out there and camping and traveling around and seeing new and some old sites. Like, I want to take Jerry Ann camping to Yellowstone. Problem is either you've got to make you got to do an advanced setting so they know when you're coming and what area you want to stay in. Otherwise, it's hopefully and get a spot. And a lot of people are saying the best time to go to see Yellowstone is before or after. Sorry, I got temporarily bumped offline. Yeah, it's about that time. Oh shoot, I might have to get off in a little. How long have I been on? I've only been on for half an hour. Wow. But there's a lot of places in Colorado alone to go see, and then there's the surrounding states. I mean, there's the Four Corners area. There's the Painted Desert. There's Utah's what's it called? Bridges National Park, or where, I can't remember what it's called, but it's got like all the natural form bridges. Can't remember the name of the place, the area. But then there's the Grand Canyon, which I haven't seen in quite some time. I don't know what the last time Jerry saw it. But then there's my family to visit in Arizona that Jerry hasn't even met yet. There's Redwood Forest of Colorado, California. There's, all different places to go visit. I've seen Vegas once, and I personally, the only reason why I'd go back down to Vegas during the winter time is to visit, Jerry's family. Jerry's got family in Vegas. I've got an aunt that lives in, aunt and her kids live in Henderson. So, there's all that. Plus, I've got my family. I've got a cousin that lives up in Washington. Um, I may have family in Oregon, but I'm not 100% sure. I have family in Colorado. I have family, with having this camper. The possibilities are endless. I mean, I can finally meet up and spend some time with family members I don't even remember, but they somehow know me. So it's kind of like, how do you know me? I mean, when did we meet? Because I know my cousins in Arizona. One of them, who passed away not too long ago, used to change my diapers. So, you know, maybe we all met at my dad's grandmother's farm in Bowling Green, Missouri. You know, I don't remember because that was back in 70 something, 80 something. And I don't remember a lot from back then. Let's see here. Um, it's been a while since I've been on here. Yeah, I realized, Kathy, that, it's like, wait a minute, Kathy, shoot, when was the last time she was on here? Um, Marguerite, I am pretty sure I will enjoy camping. The trailer that we're getting as a gift. Um, oh, Sheila is on here. Yay! I haven't seen you in a coon age. But yeah, the camper that we're getting gifted, um, according to Mona, it has air and heat. So it's like, yay! Cool it off during the daytime and warm it up during the nighttime, depending on where we're at. um, we are actually trying to move to Canyon City, Colorado, which is west of Pueblo. It's about half an hour west of Pueblo and about an hour southwest of Colorado Springs. That's where we would like to go, or at least trying to go. Now, other than that, Jerry and I are kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being a little bit closer to Colorado Springs because then we'll be closer to malls and other amenities we haven't been to in a long time. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be that close because I don't want to be spending money, just because. I would rather be saving the money for camp trips. Let's see here. What does Sheila have to say for herself? I am here just listening. Sometimes I don't think you appreciate my comments, even though I always try to say what I thought was in your best interest. Sheila, I'm sorry you feel that way. I mean, I have had trouble keeping up with comments in general. So I'm sorry if I missed your comments. And as for, you're trying to say things in my best interest, I love that. Sometimes I have to remind myself that nobody's trying to attack anybody. It's just, well, back then, let's just say back a couple months ago, I wasn't all that balanced, I guess the words would be. So I've changed my ways. I'm a little bit more balanced, and I'm a whole lot of excitement. Unfortunately, due to medical situations, I get a little cranky and snippy, especially when I'm in a lot of pain. Thankfully, most of my pain has been taken away because of the shot procedure where they did in my shoulder area. They now have done a MRI on my lower back, and I will talk to you guys about that because a lot of you whom I normally talk to are just jumping on to. Um, let's see here. Alrighty. Okay. Um, Hey Nelly, you're here as well. Great. All right, since all the people I've been waiting for are online, I can get down and talk about this. Okay, let me catch you guys up. Catch you guys up to speed. I'm actually in a better mood today because I've gotten to the point where I understand what my MRI was trying to say, and now it's just waiting for the doctor to call me or send me a message. Either wanting to see me in person or set up an appointment for maybe my lower back. They are actually delivering the camper from New Orleans, somewhere down there, somewhere down, Louisiana or somewhere like that. But anyhow, as you guys know, and Nelly, if you've been, or not Nelly, excuse me, I'm gonna have to think harder on this. Sheila, if you've been listening, you kind of are up to date with what happened to my shoulder. If not, let me know and I'll explain. I'll tell you guys that. But since the latest thing has been my MRI on my back, I went in Monday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, to get an MRI on my lower back because it has been a problem for, oh, fudge, since back in New York. I don't remember exactly what year, but I back in New York I had injured my back and they wanted to do something back then and they wanted me to sign a piece of paperwork saying that if they mess up, like go miss their mark and nick my spine, they didn't want me to retaliate with a lawsuit. Thankfully my doctors here have not even gone there. But the MRI from Monday basically said that I have bulging discs, degenerative spinal vertebrae issues. The root that is causing, I don't know what they meant by the root, but one of the nerve clusters is basically getting pinched off. Not as badly as my shoulder, but just enough to cause me pain. My pain has been a constant, like, and it comes and goes as is. The basically what it is between bulging disc, degenerative spine, arthritic problems, and the nerve cluster being pinched from time to time. You know, I don't know what they're going to do next. I don't know if they're going to offer up the same situation they did for my shoulder by the procedure of injecting near my spine or what. But anyhow, sorry, House of John, I'm having trouble understanding your comment, the second one. But anyhow, if it is what my medical friend thinks it is the only thing they can do about it is either the injection or PT or basically more pain management of one form or another. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I don't know. Don't know yet because I have not had the neurosurgeon update the information that I have now. Well, that's what the cortisone is what they did in my shoulder area, which like within like an hour or so, maybe 2 hours after the injection, like all the pain in my right side, my right shoulder area just kind of went, nope. And all it is basically every so often there's like a twinge, like I stretch it too far or move too fast or something like that, and it's kind of like, hey, we're still here. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you, you little. Um, but my spirits are up, And yesterday I did go through it. Most of the evening I was kind of in a melancholy of like, oh great, what's next? What's going to happen? Am I going to end up not being able to take care of my wife, let alone myself? I had a lot of bad thoughts, basically, And then I came in here and just, meditated, however you want to put it. Hey, Mona. So, yeah, I am feeling a whole lot better. I'm not like worried about it, like, oh, woe is me. I'm just going, okay, it's another day. We'll just we'll just take it a little bit at a time. We won't try to push. We won't try to rush. We won't try to hurt myself. So that's where I am. So that's where I'm at. Um, let's see here. Um, so I'm doing like what well, when I started my journey on self care, I realized that the old adage, you have to put your a battery. But anyhow, because of this new journey of basically self care and trying to learn how to, bring in more positivity and be more productive and less negative and less like, well, just sitting around, basically less negative, more positive, which Sunday evening was kind of hard, and that probably didn't help out on Monday. But um, I am, I think I'm better for it. I think what I've been doing lately with various like meditation and journaling and just things that have helped out a lot with my not only my outtake on life. You know, I'm not like, oh, woe is me. I have arthritis. My lower back is going to pot. Things like that. It's more like, okay, just means I have to find a way to live with the issue or work around the issue or not push so much. Am I still frozen or is that just my tablet? Yeah, it's just my tablet. I'm sorry. So it's like instead of holding everything internally, good, bad, or indifferent, I try to write it. I try to sometimes my words aren't coming out great on paper. Oh, nuts! Can I freeze again? I hope not. Okay, I'm not frozen. Okay, sorry. Um, but yeah, I'm not holding anything in anymore. I might not say everything I want to say to Jerry because I don't want to upset her. So I write it down. And if I for some reason can't or don't feel like writing because I just can't think of the words, I'll voice record. The journal part or the day. So it's just like sometimes I'm coming in here just to like take a reprieve, like cool down and not get so upset about things. Sometimes I come in here to do my journaling. Sometimes I come in here just to like calm down, meditate, relax. Don't be so upset by whatever's going on, whether it's something something that was said to me that I did not appreciate or any of that kind of stuff. But I love you too, Jerry. And everything I do isn't just for me. You know, I do it for myself, do it for the sake of my own, being centered and trying to not like I don't want to. I'm not like trying to focus totally on myself, but I'm trying to keep my focus. So this room has become a lot to me. I mean, I can't wait until we move and see what happens in Colorado. But I think with all the tools I'm learning and all the different things I'm doing, I I'm not as quickly angered. I could care less about what other people are saying to me about me. I actually sometimes I think it's kind of hilarious. Somebody had told me the other day. My mom was in one of Diane's chats, and I was like, "What? Nah, I can't be." And later on that evening, well, after Diane was done with her live, I looked at. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, my mom is in there." And I asked my mom. I was like, "Mom, what are you doing talking, with Diane and getting involved with that group?" Mostly for shits and giggles. I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like half the stuff they're talking about is just bullshit. For one, just they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, you know. So I was like, okay, well, just don't fall into a trap because that's what they did to me. Um, First thought wrong. That's interesting, Sheila. Um, my father used to say, oh, my father used to say, thought shit itself. I was like, huh, what? But yeah, my father had some weird sayings. But I just got a warning on my phone that I'm down to 20% battery. Um, well, Kathy, that's not a problem because what we would like to do is we would like to when we're settled in Colorado and got our P's and Q's and whatnot dealt with, we would like to like sit down and think about like, okay, who do we want to go first? And who do we want to visit first? Do we want to visit somebody on the other side of the country, like Nellie, or do we want to stay in our area? I got a charger, babe, but my earphone or my mic is plugged in. Um, Besides, I got to figure out how to cook dinner or cook what we're going to try to have. But we've always been like, we've always wanted to get an RV or a camper or whatnot and just go around the country, not only seeing sites that we want to see, but say, hey, we're in, I'm just going to pick a place, Duluth, Minnesota. We're the closest place we can meet and greet and just sit down for a coffee is one of the local shops. I think the reason why I said Duluth, and I don't know if that is the right state now. Is Duluth in Minnesota? Anyhow, but there's a couple places in Minnesota that I wanted to see. So it's kind of like one of those, okay, whoever's in this area, you know, we can set up a meet and greet at this place or that place or wherever. But I also want to go to Minnesota because there's a lot of things out there that's a Viking. We've heard of a bar that's like got this giant Viking ship on a wall or hanging up or something like that. And, but anyhow, you know, but that's one of our dreams is to be able to go, hey, we've got, you know, a camper.